Hi, welcome to this video on attempts on Synap. We're going to go through some of the basics of viewing your attempts and building queries to find the right attempts and looking at where the attempts table is in different areas of the platform and how to build your searches, and then some of what the different statuses mean and just so how you can get the most and access your data on Synap. Okay, so first of all, what we're going to be using is the attempts table. This is something that you've used already, you'll notice that it's in a few places on Synap. If you've not already and you're an admin, you might need to enable it from your settings page. So it's just this page here, and you can change the icon to whatever you like. So we call this the global attempts table because it's going to let me pick from multiple areas where attempts can happen. Broadly, these are going to be exams, collections, assignments, and quizzes. So exams being probably the most common, we can select an origin here. Let's pick something with lots of attempts. And we're going to click search as we go. What it's done there is it's filtered me to everyone in this exam who's got an attempt that exists. I can scroll down here and I can see everyone is in there, but I might want to filter this down even more. Perhaps I don't care about someone who's not started if I'm exporting for a specific sort of reporting reason. So I can add that filter on there and carry on filtering it down to just the completed attempts. Now, exams are slightly special in terms of attempts because exams can be marked and proctored and have an overall exam status. If we have a look at what those mean, so although the attempt status, this is what the user's actually done at the attempt, we do have the additional exam status here. So then a student could be enrolled but might not have been notified about that yet. Notified means they've been sent the email but they've not started it yet. If you've got proctoring enabled, they might have pre-flight, which means that they've clicked start but they're currently in the proctoring setup. Started means that they have actually had eyes on the exam now and they've seen the first question. Submitted means they've either clicked to submit and end their exam or that they've been timed out of the exam. Either way, they can't go back now and modify their answers. Revoked means an admin, educator or manager has gone in and clicked to revoke that attempt for them. And expired means they did not click start before the close window was met. If we have a look at the results statuses, so again, this is only available on exams. Results can be in lots of different statuses on exams. You might have marked it but not released it yet. You might have finalised but not released it, or you've released it and the students are able to have eyes on the exams there. We've also got a marking status if this is something that you're doing with attempts and you're not auto-releasing them, you are having someone go and manually mark them. We've got not marked, so it's it might not have been done yet. Marks in progress, which means one or more marker has inputted something into that. Marks ready to finalise means everyone who needed to have eyes on for marking and input something's done it. Marks finalised means someone's clicked and said unlocked that and said that that's ready to go. And completed means all the marks have been inputted. So you can also filter by grade as well. So show me just the fail, show me just the pass. Anything you want on there will be able to be filtered by. You just have to keep clicking search if you update these. So let's clear that one away and have another look at some of the other filters. So if I go and find that exam again, we also have the ability to set a time filter. So you may say, okay, well, I want to see everyone who finished the exam in the last 2 months, if it was a really long exam, which probably wasn't. You can set that there and do a really long time filter. From there, you can set a specific time on there, and to clear it, you just select it and hit delete on your keyboard. This will probably not return anything here, which means no attempts match that criteria, which is absolutely fine with me. All right, let's have a look at another example. So we've got let's look at a collection. So collections are different from exams because you could have multiple user groups that have the same access to the same collection. In this case, when you load your optional filters, you'll notice that you can select one or more user groups from here or one or more quizzes. So if we pick this quiz for analytics and we can click search again there, this is everyone who's done that quiz. Please note that these may be users who've been deleted. Oops. From there. So if I just get that back, let me search for that one. Let's go for that analytics one. And now I can say, okay, well, everyone in Springfield and who's also in this demo accounts group. If I really want to, I can select specific users from there. Then if I just wanted to do a deep dive into that there, remembering to click search. And finally, you'll notice on collections, there's those less statuses available because they can't be marked or released or anything like that. Finally, you can add in sorting as well. So just picking from a time or score and then selecting ascending or descending order from there as well. So that's the global attempts table. So this is where you have like the freedom to set the origin or anything like that that you want. You'll find the attempts table in a few more places as well. So if we go and find an assignment now, hopefully pick one from here. If this had been done by any users, then you'd be able to go to the attempts table. You'll see that these are locked because by virtue of it being an assignment, it does have a course set to it there and a group set as well, but it might have one or multiple quizzes in which case you would be able to use the attempts table in the same way here, setting any parameters that you want and then clicking for this through the search. If we go to collections, doing what we've just done on the global attempts table, you'll see that this one is exactly the same. It's just pre-filtered there. So you can still do that same thing with the groups where you select multiple or multiple users from there as well. That's absolutely fine. Okay, so let's go and have a look at user group level, exports. Go and find a group. Scrolling down from the submenu, you'll find the attempts table for this group where you can pick an origin, but the user group will be frozen to the specific user. Let's have a look at the exams these guys have done. I'm going to have to pick one exam. Let's pick a different one this time. And same, that's popped up for me there. I can see what those users have done in the group as well. Okay. Cool. So if we go and have a look on attempts as well, we've got our quiz option here. So quizzes being a bit more unique because you could have quizzes that exist in multiple collections that multiple users have multiple access to. So it gets a little bit more complicated. As a quick note on this, it will exclude, if a quiz is being used in an exam, the data from those attempts won't show here. This is just to keep the exam slightly separate from these sorts of results because things might have changed on the exam at any point. So this is just if it's in a collection or multiple collections, but it's going to pool all of those together. Similar from here, you can select the status and search. So you can only see completed attempts. There's only 2 on for there as well. All right, so next thing we're going to talk about is like getting the most out of the table and how to export them to CSV then and what those options look like. So if we let that load up, I'm going to pick an exam origin just because it has the most on that we can search through. So we'll go back to that certificate exam. And what we've got here is all the attempts that are in that exam, which is great. And we can go down to our table here, and we've got this manage columns button. We've got some like nice little controls here that we can do. This exam wasn't proctored, so perhaps I don't need to see the proctoring status, so I can just use my manage columns button and I can get rid of that. I can get rid of the test title and the test ID as well because that's not relevant for what I'm doing. I probably care about the grade because it's an exam, so I can like have that there like that and view it. I can click on here and it's going to take me through to a filtered view of that user's attempt in that exam. So if there's anything else I want to view on there, that's absolutely fine. Alternatively, I can go back and have a look at a few more things. So in our manage columns here, you'll also notice that I've got the additional attributes. So these are attributes that are stored on my user at the moment, and I can show them in here, which is helpful. And then what's the options that I get as well is if I want to then export that to CSV, I can now pick some of my export options. So by question is going to show me all the questions and answer options that user selected, that those users who are in my query selected, and it's going to show like A, B, C, and D. Breakdown by score is going to show me zeros and ones, or depending on how many marks the question was worth, it's going to show that. And no breakdown is going to just not return me any of that. It's just going to give me like an overview of everything. So let's have a look at some of these export options here. So the most common is breaking down by score. So we can see our users here. That's that part one that I'm looking at. I've got his links to his marking. I've got his grade that he got. I've got whether it was proctored, it wasn't. I selected to show his attributes there, even though he's not got these filled in. His role, which is these are all custom attributes. You can scroll, scroll, scroll. It's broken it down by section as well, because I also selected section information here. I can go back to this. And there we go. We've got all the scores that he got. I've got the question IDs, the source question IDs, if it was one that had been cloned, the section that the question was in, as well as additional IDs there. And then breakdown is really similar. So I did select to have the attributes and everything else on there. Grades, no breakdown. So it didn't show you the answer options. And then question breakdown, exactly the same, but it shows me if they skipped or what answer options they chose. This is because it's multiple correct or ordered. So if we go back and have another look at our attempts table, if you don't want to include section information or use attributes, that's fine. And you can include both if you just select them both as well. And then finally, this little option for source question isn't massively relevant to this exam. It's if you're using a dynamic exam and you want to be able to relate the questions back to that quiz in the library, quiz or quizzes in the library that you want to use. You just click hit to export to CSV and you'll get an email very shortly with those results in it. Okay. So yeah, finally, that's pretty much everything that you need to know to get started on there. We'll link to our documentation in the video. And as always, don't hesitate to reach out for any help through the chat. And yeah, you'll notice the attempts table will be appearing in a few places across the system. Thank you.